Well, it's May, and here we are back in my packed greenhouse for another round of seed sowing. As you can see, I brought my sweet corn out of the house now into the greenhouse to spend a couple of days in the greenhouse before it's transplanted outdoors, just to get used to those nighttime temperatures. The tomatoes are doing really well. In fact, if you look around, I've finally managed to clear my winter crops and hang them up to set their seeds, and I've started getting the tomatoes planted at last. And the broad beans are almost ready to pick. So what are we going to be planting in May? Well, there's loads of stuff. Don't feel that you've missed the boat. There's absolutely loads that you can be planting at the moment. So there are some things that you could have planted earlier in the year, and maybe you did, but it's time to sow for succession if you want, for example, tender young carrots. But there's still plenty of time to put your carrots in if you'd like to sow them. All the way through to July it's worth sowing your carrots. On that same bed I'm going to be putting some Florence fennel in, so that's the sort that makes bulbs. Not a great deal because we don't like it that much, but it's always nice to have a bit of a change, isn't it? So this one needs to be sowed directly into your bed outside because it really doesn't like being transplanted. We've still got some stuff to go into the greenhouse and places like that. Cucumber you can still be sowing. I'll be putting in another batch of sweet corn so that we can be harvesting it over a longer period. My courgettes, I gave away too many courgettes, and so I'm going to be putting some more courgettes in today. You can still be sowing any pumpkins and squashes at this time of year too, and I thought I might do a few ornamental gourds this year just for fun and because they're so pretty. So yeah, beans we can still be sowing. So I'll be sowing some French beans for succession, and I'll also be putting in my beans for drying today. So I'm going to try some borlotti beans this year. And somebody has very kindly given me some gigandes. I don't know if that's how you pronounce it. They're the kind of beans that are very commonly eaten in Greece in a tomato sauce. She says they are of dubious viability, but I shall give them a go, pre-sprouting them in a bowl, and then if they do germinate, there's always time to stick them in the earth at that point. So most of your brassicas will already have been planted, but there's no harm in trying and sticking a few in if you didn't manage to get round to it. But the ones for next winter and even next spring you can start to put in now. So January King cabbages, it's a lovely cabbage, a little bit tinted with red, and very winter hardy. And then there's this cauliflower that I've got here. You plant it in May to eat the following May, so that's another all year round one. Oh, here's the rest of my beans and peas that I shall be putting in for succession. Some dwarf French beans and some ordinary peas, because we just can't get enough of the fresh peas. We've just started to pick the ones out of the greenhouse that I sowed in the autumn actually, and it's absolutely lovely. Okay, so all my miscellaneous stuff. My perpetual spinach went up on the allotment straight into the ground, and because I couldn't get up to water it often enough, I'm not allowed to take the kids at the moment, so it just withered in the ground, unfortunately, in that dry spell we had. So I'm going to have to plant that again. We've got beetroot, which you can plant, and spinach. Quite a lot of the herbs it's worth planting now. I like to do a little bit of dill every time I plant some lettuce, because dill goes to seed really quickly, but I love the flavour so much. Parsley. This was my parsley. Didn't work at all. I kept it moist, I kept it covered with glass so that it had got access to the sunlight. Didn't work at all. I reckon that the seeds were too old. Parsley is a bit like parsnip actually. The seeds don't last for very long, so probably there's no point sowing this packet here. I'll have to get a new packet. What else have we got? Chicory. Yeah, that's another one that I'm going to be experimenting with this year. That's to grow those pale bitter chickens that you can buy in the supermarket sometimes. Easy enough to grow. It's just persuading it to produce those chickens without yeah, without going manky is the difficult bit, and a bit of lamb's lettuce as a change in the salads. That should be quite nice. So as you can see, there's absolutely tons that you can be doing in the garden. If you've not had time, if you've not had chance, don't think that you've missed the boat, because there really is so much that you can be planting through May and right into June, July, August. See you soon.